Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on the school shooting that took place in Michigan, how the 15-year-old shooter is facing 24 charges, and how his parents were just arrested in Detroit after being on the run.
Yeah, he said it's safe to come out.
We're not willing to take that risk right now. I can't hear you. We're not taking that risk right now. Okay, well, come to the door with my bag, bro.
Yeah, bro.
He said bro.
He said bro. Red flag.
Go.
November 21st, 2021, a teacher at Oxford High School in Oxford, Michigan, observed a student in the classroom named Ethan Crumbley searching the internet on his cell phone for ammunition. The concerned teacher would go on to report the incident to school officials, who attempted to make contact with the 15-year-old's parents. Jennifer Crumbley, the teen's mother, was left a voicemail regarding her son's inappropriate conduct, and school officials would follow up with an email, but never received a reply. Instead, she would text her son saying, "LOL, I'm not mad at you. You have to learn not to get caught." November 26, 2021, James Crumbley purchased a Sig Sauer 9mm handgun with 3 15-round magazines from Acme Shooting Goods in Oxford, Michigan. A store employee would confirm to investigators at the time of the purchase the man was with a teen boy, later identified as his 15-year-old son, Ethan. Later that day, Ethan would take to social media posting pictures of the handgun with the caption reading, "Just got my new beauty today, Sig Sauer 9mm. The following day, Ethan's mother, Jennifer, would post to her own social media account saying Mom and Sunday, testing out his new Christmas present. November 30th, 2021, Ethan's teacher found a note left on his desk, which alarmed her to the point she took a picture of it on her cell phone. It showed a drawing of a handgun pointing at the words, "The thoughts won't stop, help me." Another drawing depicted a bullet, and above the bullet read, "Blood everywhere." Between the drawing of the gun and the bullet was a drawing of a person who appeared to be shot twice and bleeding. Below it was a laughing emoji and the words, "My life is useless, the world is dead." Ethan's parents were immediately summoned to the school, while a school counselor removed Ethan from his classroom, escorting him to the school office with his backpack. The counselor now had the note, which had been significantly altered in comparison to the picture taken of the original. The drawings of the gun and bloody figure were scratched out, along with the majority of the words written. The parents, confronted with the drawing, were advised to get their son into counseling within 48 hours. When the idea of Ethan going home at that time was presented, both parents resisted and would leave their son at school, where he was escorted back to his classroom. Soon after that, gunfire erupted. It was just before 1 in the afternoon when Oxford County's 911 dispatch received over 100 calls within minutes, reporting a shooting at Oxford High, a school with approximately 1,800 students. Sheriff deputies immediately responded and in less than 3 minutes had the shooter in custody as another 100 deputies arrived. They found the shooter coming down one of the school hallways with a weapon as they started to give commands to surrender. Sheriffs removed the loaded Sig Sauer 9mm handgun from the suspect with 7 live rounds in the 15-round magazine. As the school was being evacuated, an explosive unit deployed a K9 that alerted to a backpack. It's believed the shooter had been carrying the weapon inside of the backpack prior to the shooting, and an additional 15-round magazine was recovered. Inside of the backpack was a journal that would detail Ethan's desire to shoot up the school. News of an active shooter in Oxford High was made public, and at 1:22 p.m., Jennifer Crumbley texted her son saying, "Ethan, don't do it." 15 minutes later, James Crumbley called 911, reporting a gun missing from his house, and he believed his son may be the school shooter. Surveillance video would show 15-year-old Ethan walking into a school bathroom with a backpack. Two other students were already inside when one could be seen on camera running out. Ethan had started his rampage, shooting 17-year-old Justin Schilling in the head and leaving him bleeding out on the bathroom floor. Ethan would then walk out, aiming and shooting other students in the hallways and firing in the classrooms as he walked by. Unconfirmed by surveillance video, students said as they ran away, they saw a 16-year-old Tate Meir running towards the shooter. Tate was Oxford High's star football player and was said to have been shot in the leg, the bullet piercing his artery as the shooter continued on. Responding law enforcement immediately began treating victims, with Tate being carried and placed in a patrol car on the way to the hospital. Tate bled to death inside of that patrol car. 6 students and a teacher had been rushed to emergency rooms, the students between the ages of 14 and 17, with 2 girls shot multiple times in the chest, 2 students shot in the neck, and 1 shot in the face as the others suffered wounds to the hip and legs. The 47-year-old female teacher was shot in the shoulder. A deputy would find 17-year-old Justice Schilling unresponsive and bleeding from the gunshot wound to his head on the bathroom floor. That deputy would hold Justin's hands until paramedics arrived, transporting him to the hospital. 14-year-old Hannah Juliana and 17-year-old Madison Baldwin were both pronounced dead, as Justice Schilling was pronounced brain dead in the hospital the following day. His family has decided to keep his body alive and donate his organs. 15-year-old Ethan was arrested and transported to a juvenile facility where he remained unidentified until he was officially charged as an adult and transported to the Oakland County Jail. He could be seen during a virtual arraignment wearing a green suicide suit, as he was officially charged with 4 counts of first-degree murder, 7 counts of assault with intent to murder, 12 counts of possession of a firearm in the commission of a felony, and terrorism. Videos recovered from Ethan's cell phone showed him the night before the shooting, talking about how he'd kill students the next day. A YouTube comment would also be left on a popular gun channel's video where the creator was reviewing a handgun. Ethan would write, "This is the gun I'm going to use," with a smiley face. The comment being wrote 2 weeks prior to the shooting. What comes as a surprise was the prosecutor announcing 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter against Ethan's parents for their lack of parenting and contribution to the deadly school shooting. They'd failed as parents, ignoring all red flags of an otherwise obviously mentally ill child. They disregarded the violent school note when they should have taken Ethan home or immediately to a mental health facility if they cared for his well-being. They'd given Ethan access to a firearm by committing a straw purchase in which a legal citizen, being his father, bought the weapon on behalf of his son who legally couldn't, gifting it to him as an early Christmas gift. And the evidence was posted to social media by both Ethan and Ethan's mom. Immediately following the news of the school shooting, his mom would text him saying don't do it, as his father drove home discovering the gun was missing. The fact that both parents were able to assume their son was responsible for the shooting shows they knew he was mentally unstable and did nothing about it. U.S. Marshals announced a $10,000 reward for both parents on December 2nd, as they'd reportedly fled the area after charges were announced. December 4th, Detroit police responded to a tip and executed a search of a building on the city's east side after the parents' vehicle was found. Both parents were inside of the building's basement, looking distressed as they immediately surrendered. Detroit PD stated the building was being used as an art studio and they didn't break in, they were let in. Police are investigating what relationships they have in Detroit, as whoever helped them may face charges for harboring fugitives. They were supposed to turn themselves in after charges were announced, and the family lawyer said they were planning on doing just that. But the couple had apparently been spotted in Rochester Hills, roughly 20 minutes away from Oxford, where they allegedly withdrew $4,000 from a bank. While their son faces the possibility of multiple life sentences in prison, the parents face up to 15 years for each count of involuntary manslaughter, totaling up to 60 years each. Now, parents being charged for a school shooting, this is new. This is rare. And from everything that I've read, it's rightfully so. It sounds like they literally gave him the ability to do what he did and ignored everything about their own kid. And honestly, for everyone else, as far as like the school, other students, they said other students saw on Snapchat that he was making videos, but no one reported it to the sheriffs apparently, or the sheriffs have said that they never received anything about it. I hate the fact that it's so wrong to judge someone in today's society. Because anytime you're in a place where your life can be threatened, the very first thing you're taught is to judge everyone around you. To make an assessment of every single person you see, how they walk, how they move. Are their hands outside? Are their hands tucked in their pocket? Do they look suspicious? Do they have on a mask? All of these little things in areas where things go bad will keep you alive. Whether it's a war zone, whether it's prison, whether you're in the hood. When you look at this kid, he looks like a fucking school shooter. He looks like one of these weird little nerds that are fucked up in the head. And everyone's like, no, 2021, we can't judge him. We can't assume these things until kids start getting shot. And then everyone's like, well, fucking look at him. How did y'all not know? This kid had the gun in his backpack in the counselor's office after they found a note of him scribbling and drawing all this weird shit. And nobody thought, hey, let's search his bag. More importantly, the parents didn't even think to search the fucking bag after they just bought the kid a gun. Now, I'm not blaming students. I'm not blaming the school. I'm solely blaming the parents and the school shooter. But at the end of the day, we need to find a balance between proactively judging people, proactively assuming something. He looked funny. He looked like he might have something on him. Let me search him. If you don't find anything, cool. There was nothing to be found. If you find a gun in a school, you might have just prevented a school shooting. And if somebody says, oh, you search me because you're racist, or you search me because I'm gay, or you search me because you think I'm this and I identify as that, that's the bullshit that needs to just get forgotten about, because that's the reason shit like this happens. I don't know why metal detectors aren't at every fucking school. They're at all the ghetto schools and alternative schools. The school I went to for my GED, and I didn't even get my GED there, you had to get patted down to get in. They're grabbing your dick and your balls before you even get in the classroom. You gotta spread them, just like you would in jail. I don't understand why things like this aren't being done in other schools. And then when something happens, it's a surprise, but it really isn't, because school shootings have become so fucking normalized. But rest in peace to all the victims. As far as Tate, there's a petition, I believe, to rename the football stadium after him. I think that would be an amazing thing. If I can find the petition, I'm gonna link it in the comment section. But hey, it's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. Till next time.